Today on Judge Faith, these two theme park employees wanted a place closer to work.
We weren't getting along because things weren't, it seemed like every time there was bills that needed to be paid, that she didn't have what she needed.
But they end up on the roller coaster ride of their life.
I put my foot in the door and told John to give me my lamp after he pushed me in the kitchen, after I told him do not put his hand on me.
So
John
you guys were having a
twice.
physical altercation?
Yes.
When you tell people you're gonna get your crew and there aren't enough police officers who are going to stop your crew from getting him, that is a threat.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff John Halsey says the defendant threatened him and refused to let him retrieve his items after moving out of their apartment. He is suing for the return of the items and emotional distress. Defendant Bria Anderson says the plaintiff was belligerent and left without contributing his share to the household. She is countersuing for unpaid rent, bills, and pain and suffering.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Halsey versus Anderson.
Thank you, Barbara. John Halsey?
That is correct, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Bria Anderson,
Yes, ma'am.
for $3,000 for the return of household items, pain and suffering, and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
That is correct.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $8,310.
Yes, ma'am.
For lease violation, unpaid rent, unpaid bills, harassment, and pain and suffering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Halsey. Tell me how you met Miss Anderson.
Miss Anderson and I met in March or April of 2014. We ended up becoming friends. We hit it off really well. And in May, I want to say that
Where did the two of you meet?
Six Flags over Georgia, I do apologize, at work.
Okay.
In May, I had asked her if she'd like to go in and get an apartment together. And she said that she would. And we found one that we both liked.
Did both of you sign a lease?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Okay, may I have a copy
You
of it,
may.
please? What was the agreement between the two of you as to rent and household utilities?
Rent and household utilities, Your Honor, it was half and half.
How much was your lease?
Lease would be $575 for rent, $50 for water and trash, and then there was a
$55 for water.
$5 fee on top of that as well.
I'm sorry?
It's $55 for water.
Okay, so you move in and the two of you have a lot of problems.
Yeah. In June, she ended up leaving. Unfortunate circumstances had happened. Her father had passed away. I do apologize.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And she needed to go to South Carolina, and I allowed her to be with him. When she got back, there was 2 weeks there that she didn't really work, and so I ended up being stuck with a lot of the bills.
What was
for
going
rent.
on with your work at that time?
That's not true.
Okay,
when
well,
I
tell
left
me.
to go with my father once he passed away, when John called me while I was in South Carolina, he was like, well, I think I'm going to be short on coming on the rent. I told him I was getting my deposit the next day and I was coming back. I worked immediately as soon as I came back.
What was going on in the household, though?
There was drinking. I was drinking heavily. I did have a drinking issue. I've since done something about that.
Okay, good for you.
So I've since gone and got some help for myself.
What was going on at the time, though? Why were you drinking so much back then?
I don't know. I was just drinking a lot.
And was this something that started when you moved in with the defendant, or something that started prior to that?
It was something that had happened. Yeah, when it was. I'm not going to blame it on the defendant. I'm not going to blame it on Bria. That's not.
Okay.
All her fault.
John
I'm of age.
John was drinking before he even moved in. John would drink one beer and call himself being drunk, and every word out his mouth was either you are B or you're a or you're something of that.
That was one time, Your Honor.
How old are you?
21.
How old are you?
33.
So the two of you were not getting along.
We weren't getting along because things weren't. It seemed like every time there was bills that needed to be paid, that she didn't have what she needed.
In August, what happens in August?
We purchased a washer, rented a washer and dryer.
He rented.
For the household. It was $44.83 a month. The deposit was $80.
which I told him not to get because our apartment has a washer and dryer and it only takes $2 to wash and dry, which I told him I don't want anything a part of because bills are piling up and they should be paid on time, not adding an extra bill.
You guys were falling behind on the bills already. That's what it appears from everything you wrote in your papers, right?
That is correct.
What happened with the police?
Police had gotten involved in multiplications. The one time that she is stating that I did call her a B and a C, she ended up calling them.
And it was because he was overly drunk.
Stop.
She said that I was belligerent, and I was. I'm not going to say that I wasn't. All the police did was basically put me in asked me to go to my room and stay in my room.
Why were you belligerent?
Why was I belligerent?
Because you were drunk?
Because I was drunk.
And what's your version of this? What happened?
It was my graduation night. I graduated from culinary school. We went to a bar, I believe it was downtown, and we were drinking. John was getting overly intoxicated again. I was like, John, it's getting kind of embarrassing. He made a belligerent, he made an unnecessary comment towards another man, and the man wanted to fight him. So I told John that he was being, embarrassing. I didn't want to be seen with him, so he then went home. Mm-hmm. I stayed. Later when I went home, the alcohol bottle that I got as a present, he drunk half the whole bottle. It was a big fire extinguisher, and he drunk the whole thing. So when I got home and asked him about it, he started throwing the alcohol all over the counter, which damaged my phone, and I could not use, and I had to get another phone. So I called the police and asked them could they do something, because John was just being too excessively loud, and neighbors coming out, and that's just embarrassing. I don't want to be seen like that.
All right.
So things were fine then. Well, no, I went in my room. I went in my room, woke up the next day, and then things were okay. We ended up reconciling our differences a little bit.
I'm just curious, how much were you drinking at the time?
Probably 2-3 malt liquors at a time. 2-3 malt liquors.
About 7.
Coming up on Judge Faith, this case takes a twisted turn.
I never put no butter knife
Yes, you
on
did.
her. Come on out.
She broke into my room, Your Honor. I told her to get out of my...
One at a time.
Ridiculous.
Did you pull a butter knife on him?
No, I did not pull a butter knife on John.
Did you use a butter knife to break into his room?
No.
Plaintiff John Halsey says he had several altercations with his former roommate. He is suing for the return of items and emotional distress. Defendant Bria Anderson says the plaintiff did not pay bills and became unruly after drinking. She is countersuing for unpaid rent and pain and suffering.
What was the issue with what was going on
license?
Facebook?
Oh, on Facebook?
Yes.
I'm not...
John was looking for drugs. John was on Facebook talking about he needed meth and drug dealers, and he was going to quit his job and kill himself.
Do what?
You were putting that on Facebook?
I did put that on Facebook, but then I ended up deleting it, and I never ended up using that night. I was drinking at that time, but I didn't end up using.
So you weren't just drinking heavily, you were also using meth at the time?
No, I was not using meth, Your Honor. I have a 1.5 years clean. I wanted to, but I didn't.
I mean, sir, this just happened, all of this just happened this year. So when you say you've been clean for 1.5 years, what do you mean by that?
Off of crystal meth.
Off crystal meth
Yes.
for 1.5 years?
Yes.
Okay.
Alcohol, yes, I understand is a drug too.
Yes, it is.
I'm in a program.
So you got to be straight with yourself. When you
Yes.
say you've been clean for 1.5 years, that means you're sober.
Yes.
What happened? Why did you end up moving out? What were the circumstances around that?
The night of the 6th of October, I came home from work and I knew there was going to be drama. I knew she was going to go off her rocker. We ended up getting a late fee.
Why is that?
We got a late fee because she didn't pay her portion of the rent on time. And I ended up walking in the house, and she's like, you said you paid my portion of the rent. And I said,
No,
You
that's not
showed
what
up
happened.
and you have a notice at your apartment starting the eviction process,
correct.
right?
And
What
that's-
happened?
And she got upset and said that I didn't pay her portion of the rent. I told her when I got my 401k money that if we have any money left over, we can possibly get a dining
John
room
got
set.
his 401k
That is all
for
I
a
said.
hardship because in the month of, I believe, September, the rent was late because John did not have his portion and I had mine.
No.
So John said, I'm going to pull my 401k out as a hardship, which I'm going to pay $387.50 on the 5th. Which I told him, okay, and I'm going to pay the $387.50 on the 20th. So John said he was going to pay it. I asked John 3 times, did you pay it? John told me, yes, I paid $387.50. I repeated, he said yes. When I came back to my house, it was a paper on the door, which was an eviction notice. Yes, I did get upset, and I told him, what's the point of you lying when all you had to do is admit?
Did you not pull a butter knife on me?
I never pulled no butter knife
Yes, you
on
did.
her. Come on out.
She broke into my room, Your Honor. I told her to get out of my...
One at a time.
Ridiculous.
Hold on a second. What do you say happened with the butter knife?
Okay, when I went to go in my room, I told her, get out of my face. Do not come at me like this.
Why did you tell me to get out your face, though? Because you pushed me.
Miss Anderson.
I didn't push her.
Yes,
Stop.
She blocked me, Your Honor. When I went to go in my room, she blocked me. So I went in my room, finally got in there, locked the door. She broke in with a butter knife.
Did you pull a butter knife on him?
No, I did not pull a butter knife on John.
Did you use a butter knife to break into his room?
No, I put my foot in the door and told John to give me my lamp after he pushed me in the kitchen after I told him do not put his hand on me.
So
John
you
has
guys were
pushed me
having a
twice.
physical altercation?
Yes.
You leave that night or the next day?
I left on the 6th that day. I left that day. All I grabbed was some clothes, and that was it.
And you say you left the washer and the dryer and other furniture. Where did the furniture come from?
The furniture was given to me from a friend for helping her out with her brother and sister.
You went back to get the washer and dryer and it was gone.
The washer and dryer I went back on, I had called them on the 8th to go pick it up, or the 7th, but they couldn't go out any sooner than the 10th. When they went to respond to the apartment, they said, I called them on the 16th and they said that they went to the unit and it wasn't there.
What happened to the washer and dryer?
I don't know. When I came back home from Stone Mountain, it was gone.
What day was that?
That was probably like the 9th.
And you have no idea who
No, which I
had
reported
access.
it to them, in which
Hold on a
they told
second.
me John did a key release.
So what are you saying?
Which I reported it to her. Well, you know, washing machine and dryer is going. She was like, John did a key release. He called in. I don't know who went into your apartment. I can't give you a name because it's not on there.
What is a key release?
A key release is where you get permission for somebody to come in your apartment.
Okay, and who did you give a key release to?
Apartment manager.
So, but the only key release was to the apartment manager?
No, it was
And what
to
was the
whoever he did it
reason
to.
you gave a key
I
release
gave
to
the
the
key
apartment
release for the appliance people to come and get the washer and dryer, but they couldn't go out until the 10th. Your Honor.
Which he's trying to say that I supposedly sold it to pay the rent that he did not pay, which I have evidence that I submitted that
Why do you think
it
she
was
sold
paid.
the washer and dryer?
Because it's gone, and where is it at? I have no idea, Your Honor, where the washer, there's no police report. If it was missing, why did she not
What do I
file
need
a
to call
police
for
report?
if I never rented it? That was
Why
not,
do you-
that's
why
not
didn't you-
something I wanted. That's
Well, you
not none of my
said
business.
that there
Somebody
was a
broke
key
into your
release.
house, though, apparently, if you
No,
say it was
apparently-
gone, mysteriously.
Apparently you did a
Sorry.
key release.
No, she's saying that she didn't think anyone stole it. There was a key release done, and perhaps someone came to pick it up. Another part of your lawsuit, you say you suffered emotional distress and pain and suffering, and you submitted Facebook post as additional evidence
Yes,
of
Your
that.
Honor. Yes, the Facebook posts were actually in October. The threats that Bria likes to make they scare me.
So I can't really read several of the posts that he submitted, but this is what I can read. If this blank blank don't bring me $522, I'ma sick the click on his little dumb blank. You remember writing that?
Yes.
When you play with my money, it's over with. Why would you post something like that on your Facebook wall?
Because
Clearly
the
you
things
wanted
he
the
do
message.
and the thing he's saying, you
Clearly-
don't live with him, so you don't know what he do on a daily basis.
Ma'am, turn it down because I am not the one. You can talk to him like that. You can pretend like you're so bad in front of all your other little Facebook friends,
I don't
but I am
pretend to
not
be
the
not
one. You're
something
in my
I'm not,
courtroom
so-
now and I run this.
Okay.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the truth is revealed.
You're 21 years old. What is going on with you where you think you can write this kind of stuff about people and it's okay?
Plaintiff John Halsey says he felt threatened by his former roommate. He is suing for the return of items and emotional distress. Defendant Bria Anderson says the plaintiff was cruel, irresponsible, and unruly. She is countersuing for unpaid rent and pain and suffering.
Are you in a gang?
No.
You're not in a gang?
No.
What is this photo about?
How old is that? How old is that picture though? Can you say how old that picture is though?
The reason why I ask if you're in a gang, because you changed your Facebook name to homicide, and I'm not going to read the rest
But what
out
does
loud.
that have to do with what he's suing me for?
Because he's suing you for emotional distress for making threats in a very public place on Facebook.
That's
a
not
part
public
of his
if my
lawsuit.
page is private.
Let me explain something to you. I was a prosecutor in New York, and I prosecuted gang cases. And when I see someone with a red scarf around their face, and then they've taken their Facebook name, and they've removed all of the C's and replaced the C's with other letters, I think you're either in a gang or you want people to think you're in one. You understand? Because people who don't like the Crips, don't like C's, it tells me you're trying to perpetrate like you're a member of the Bloods.
Okay.
And when you tell people you're going to get your crew and there aren't enough police officers who are going to stop your crew from getting him, that is a threat.
Okay, and when you push me and you're a man, you feel scared and intimidated because there's a man who can talk to you.
That's
that
why
you
I
can
left
put
all
your
the
hands on.
time.
Yes, it is. That's one of the main reasons why he called the police.
You know what? I see a problem. You're 21 years old. What is going on with you where you think you can write this kind of stuff about people and it's okay? Barbara, get her a tissue. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just trying to figure out where this is coming from. Because it clearly doesn't have anything to do with $500 that you're writing about.
I have to take care of him. I shouldn't have to take care of no grown man. The last grown man I had to take care of was my daddy. I shouldn't have to continue to take care of him. Everything I do, I don't buy nothing for myself. The only time I ever bought something for myself was graduation. Everything else I bought, I put into the house by myself. No help from him. He don't buy nothing. He only bought a full pack of tissue one time. What else has he ever bought? No cleaning supplies, no nothing. I do everything, groceries, everything, by myself. I should have to take care of him.
There's a lot going on with you, Bria. And I think you're right. You shouldn't have to take care of a grown man who's 10 years older than you. She's dealing with you and your addiction and drinking problems and your hostility and being belligerent and having called the police. And this is all after her father died. She doesn't want to have to deal with that.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Mr. Halsley, you already said that you are getting help for your issues because based on everything I've heard today, you really need it.
I am.
As for you, Miss Anderson, I know you probably think I came down. Look at me. I want you to look at me. I know you probably think that I came down pretty hard on you today about your Facebook posts, but you and I both know what those Facebook messages meant. We both know what your Facebook name means. We both know what that photo meant. And I think you're denying it because that's not who you really want to be. You don't have to do that. The person that you want to be, the person who wants to make an honest living for themselves, who wants to have a roommate and an apartment and live the life of a 21-year-old, that's the person that you need to be, the person that's standing in front of me today. Do you understand? You don't have to be that other person. Here's my judgment in this case. A, you broke the lease. You say that she's responsible for the washer and dryer. Here's what happened. You issued some type of key release to someone to go into that unit. You have no proof that she's the one that took the washer and dryer out and sold it. I don't know what happened to it. What's going on now with the apartment? Have you been evicted?
No, I had to pay the back rent and the rent.
You are countersuing for 2 months of back rent.
Yes.
My judgment in this case is for the defendant today. I am going to order you to pay her for the lease violation and back rent. I'm not ordering him to pay everything you asked for because I think you have some responsibility in this as well, but I am going to order the plaintiff to pay you $1,500 in damages. Judgment for the defendant.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.
Okay, ma'am. Go ahead and head on out your door. Thank you.